I can't believe that this is happening to crypto. It's becoming more obvious that something is going on behind the scenes. I mean, look at it. We've got war in the Middle East, surging oil prices, increasing inflation risk. Just the other day, the gold price dumped more in 2 days than it has in over 43 years. And yet, Bitcoin and altcoin prices have been slowly grinding higher since February the 5th, over 8 weeks ago. What the hell is going on, and why does this matter? Well, I'm going to tell you in this video, because if all of this terrible news and media that's going on right now can't shake sellers out the market, well, guess what? There's only one way that the crypto market will be heading next. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and let's find out what's going on behind the scenes. Now guys, jumping across to the Bitcoin chart, I think that we are seeing something that we have not seen for a very long time in these crypto markets. Since February the 5th, the Bitcoin price has climbed from around $59,000 all the way up, steadily putting in higher lows, which is really, really interesting. Which is incredibly important and incredibly interesting. Now, just from a single chart perspective, not that interesting. But if you were to think about the fact that we have seen a lot of turbulence in the world, significant uncertainty building, a lot of worry and fear developing, it's pretty interesting that crypto is going higher. Why is it so interesting? Well, if you can remember over the last few years, every single time we've seen some scary event happen around the world, like tariffs, like the Japan carry trade, like the first time the US bombed Iran, like government shutdowns, etc., you can remember that every single time Bitcoin and altcoins got absolutely decimated. And yet yesterday we saw a tweet from Donald Trump saying that he was in talks and things have been going well with the Iranian government, which saw the Bitcoin price spiking from around $67,000 to around $71,000 in the space of just a few minutes. Straight after this, we then heard from Iranian media sources that this was apparently not true and this hadn't even been happening. Which, if you can think all the way back to 2023 when we heard that announcement that ETFs were coming out for Bitcoin, only to then be told that they actually weren't, and that someone had hacked a CoinDesk account or something like that, you would have expected to see a significant sell-off after that candle up. However, you really didn't. In fact, this was the sell-off that you saw. Okay, yes, this is a 15-minute chart, but you'll see that that move is nowhere near that dramatic compared to the move up. And yet right now we sit building higher each time at the time of making this video with the price at $70,800. So why is this? Why, with all of this terrible news, the worst news that we have seen globally for a very, very long time, that crypto isn't reacting negatively to it? Well, because previously, every single time a bad piece of news rolled in, the market was in a very different condition to how it is right now. Let me explain. This was caused by Donald Trump tweeting about tariffs, if you can think back, on October the 10th. At this point, the open interest, the funding rates were extremely high, which told us that everybody had been going leveraged long. Of course, Bitcoin was at all-time highs at that point. Everyone was expecting Bitcoin to continue much higher, to $140, $150, $200,000, whatever it might be. Leverage traders were massively long at this point. So when suddenly a bad piece of news comes out, not only do people have a little bit of a sell, but on top of that, many of the leverage traders who are 100x, 50x leveraged longs get liquidated. As soon as they get liquidated, their trade gets turned from a buy trade into a sell trade. Whether they like it or not, they get forced to panic sell out the markets. And guess what? This then happened again here in early January of this year. And here you can see on the chart all of the open interest, the rising funding rates, and Binance premiums against Coinbase, which tells you that many people were still bullish, many people were leveraged long at that point, which meant that as soon as we got some bad news hit the market, crypto started to fall because people started to sell, and guess what? Everyone got liquidated once more. Now, not only were leverage traders getting liquidated and pushed out the market, but on top of that, many people who'd been buying up into the highs on spot had decided they'd had enough. They decided to sell up and get out the market, which is what these two massive pink spikes are here. Now, if you go back all the way to July 2022, you can see this massive spike here that was caused by a few events in quick succession. The downfall of 3 Arrows Capital, the Terra Luna collapse, the collapse of Celsius, and you know the rest. And this massive capitulation was then followed by the FTX capitulation that was half the size. In contrast, we've already seen two massive realized losses being taken across the market, both bigger than we saw at any time back in 2022, which tells us this. Even though bad news is hitting the market, nothing really happens, because ultimately everybody has already sold. And most people aren't leveraged long right now, expecting the price to go up. The majority of people are leveraged down. They think the price is going to go down to 40 or 45k because the calendar says it has to, which means if any kind of good news hits the market, like potentially the Iran war stopping, price suddenly gets pushed higher as short positions get liquidated. And then when that good news gets flipped into bad news within the space of about 15 minutes, the price doesn't get returned back down. It just sticks at that point there, telling you that the leverage is out the market. The market is significantly safer and more stable than it has been for years and years and years. Because the majority of people don't want it to go higher right now. The majority of people want it to go lower, which is why the comment section down below is 95% negative. Everyone wants it to go lower because they want to buy in at a lower price, down at like 40k, etc. because the calendar apparently says so. But if we're just relying on the calendar for one particular chart, saying that this has happened 2 times or 3 times before, what about this chart? Because this is Bitcoin versus gold. And as you can see, the Bitcoin versus gold bear market has always lasted for 52 weeks over the last few cycles. This time, 52 weeks down to the lows. We then had another one from the bull market top back in 2021. Then we had another one from the Bitcoin highs against gold when Donald Trump took office. And all of these basically tell you 52 weeks until Bitcoin starts to rise against gold. And as you can see right now, we are literally bouncing very strongly off of this red line at the bottom. And if you go to a weekly chart over the past few weeks, Bitcoin has been rising against gold consistently. And with gold now clearly selling off and having topped all the way back in January of 2026, we can expect to see Bitcoin continuing to rise against gold. And here's the key. If all the sellers who wanted to sell Bitcoin and altcoins have been exhausted already and no one is really left to sell, ultimately people will continue to begin accumulating. Why are they accumulating? Well, they're right now accumulating because the ISM manufacturing index has been over 50 for the last 2 months, and the next reading, which comes out I believe next week or the week after, will also likely be above 50, which typically indicates expansion. In this scenario, Bitcoin typically goes higher and gold, a hedge against risk, typically goes lower. Manufacturing rising tells you that lots of companies in the US right now are investing in growth. They have been getting loans and spending money to be able to grow their businesses, which is why the ISM is rising. They're taking risks. They're taking risk on board. Crypto does well when risk-on environments start to show themselves. In addition to that, the US Federal Reserve balance sheet is continuing to increase. Now, whilst we don't have quantitative easing in the United States yet, we do have something that looks like and basically smells like quantitative easing. They are printing T-bills in order to service the debt that got rolled over from last year to this year. There is massive amounts of debt that needs to be paid for, and there will be therefore a requirement to print billions of dollars to service that debt. And the smart money institutions and everybody else out there knows this. They know that risk assets will continue to do well from here with the ISM high, with interest rates potentially coming down later this year, and with money printing going on behind the scenes. Not just in the United States, but in China, massive amounts of money is being printed. In Japan, in the Eurozone, in the UK. Everybody out there is printing money to service debt they need to roll over. So why is crypto not going up yet? Why are we not seeing those moves happen if all the institutions and smart money have been rolling into the markets? Well, they do this gradually. They've been quietly accumulating in the background, and they're accumulating so that the catalysts, when they arrive, drive the price back up, but they're already positioned. They don't buy when the catalysts are already here, because by then it's too late, which is why this move from gold is seemingly confusing everyone. But it shouldn't be confusing. I mean, this gold price rallied because of certain things that have been happening over the past few years, right? We've heard more talk about tariffs. We've seen more and more unrest in the Middle East between Israel and Gaza, and notably Iran talking more and more aggressively. Therefore, much of the smart money was basically speculating on the fact that gold would be a good hedge against a lot of this risk happening, which meant that then everyone basically started to stack into that same gold trade. But guess what? Suddenly, the news gets even worse, and yet gold absolutely tanks. Well, that's because this is a sell the news event. All of the talk about why gold might be a good hedge against worrying situations in the world was already happening throughout here. We've already seen all these worrying situations take place, which is why the gold price basically started going vertical from the beginning of November, 2024. Can you remember what happened back in the beginning of November 2024? That's right, Donald Trump won the US election, and then everyone knew we were likely going to see stuff coming in around tariffs. Many others out there might have started to see that he was going to be taking action against Venezuela and maybe stuff in the Middle East. Probably not Greenland, because that's pretty crazy, but the rest of them, sure. But if everyone is stacked leverage long and people out there decide that they want to take profits, it means that the price can come down very, very quickly. And some of these moves that we have seen for gold are bigger than we have seen for over 43 years. Back in 1983 was the last time that dumped this hard in a 48-hour period. And I would imagine that this is probably the biggest dump that it's seen in a single week in a very long time as well. So gold is starting to sell off as we come to the end of the risky, scary times. And those risky, scary times have culminated in a lot of fear and worry spreading across the media. What doesn't do well in scary, risky times? Crypto. But as we transition away from scary, risky times to growth, with manufacturing rising, with interest rate cuts ahead of us, and expanding balance sheets, you can expect to see crypto steadily holding here, maybe beginning to climb at some point. Because ultimately, right now, everybody is stacked short. Whenever we get the true confirmation that this Iran war with the United States is over, or we get a deal with tariffs, or we get the Clarity Act come through, or any of these different things, ultimately that will force a lot of buying to happen. And as people buy, the price will rise higher, and as that happens, lots and lots of people who are stacked short, remember the majority of the market is stacked short right now, will get liquidated. These people will get liquidated somewhere around $80,000. This then has the ability to push price up towards the $87,000 to $88,000 level up here. Now, this doesn't mean that Bitcoin has to go vertical from here. It just means that I'm 99% sure right now that Bitcoin doesn't go lower than where it's already been, which is this zone down here. Maybe it does take another trip into this zone and shake everyone out. But really, that wouldn't be a bad thing, seeing as it's already happened. And ultimately, so far, every time we've seen a bit of scary news come out, Bitcoin has taken a dip down, yes, but each time it's going higher and higher and higher. And this is a fairly positive thing. Now, I know, many people will be like, yeah, but it looks like a bear flag, like this one up here. Yeah, but every other factor behind this is completely different. There was huge leverage in the positions at this time. These all got sold off. Market got scared because of bad news that shook the market and sent it lower. Right now, we've seen all of the scary bad news across the market, and yet what? Bitcoin went up a bit, and that's Bitcoin. What about the altcoins? I mean, Tau Potenza is up nearly 121% from lows that it saw in early February. ETH currently sits up 24%, Hyperliquid 87%. Nosana, a project I was talking about the other day on the altcoin video I made, talking about how to find altcoins that would likely do extremely well as soon as the market returned to strength once more. Near Protocol, I mean, the list goes on. Ultimately, if Bitcoin does revisit those lows, and some of these altcoins do get to revisit down here, it doesn't necessarily mean that we should be panicked and worried right now. Because all of the different conditions, all of the macro environment, and everything else that has previously led to strong moves higher for both Bitcoin and the altcoins are all beginning to take place right now. Only thing that is different, the only one thing that is different, the only argument against all of this. But for 3 times in history, Bitcoin also went down against gold for 52 weeks. And right now, it's starting to rise against gold, having clearly bottomed on this line here. And ultimately, this is just my thoughts. I'm personally positioned because of what I think is likely to happen next from all of the data and information that I have to hand. It's up to you to take this information and go and study it for yourself, go and take information from other people, study that, and try to work out for yourself the best thing to do for you and your own personal investment. No one can hold your hand throughout this market because we're all in completely different situations. Now, guys, if you want to go and buy or sell any crypto and you want to potentially win a MacBook or up to $40,000 in trading bonuses, then make sure you sign up for Bitunix, link down below in the description. Now, Bitunix will list pretty much every single coin that I personally talk about on this video, and they have some of the lowest fees across crypto. In addition to this, if you, like me, like to travel often and spend your time in different countries, it's really easy to use because it works across the world and also doesn't require for you to register your local details. Now, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you got this far through, make sure you hit that like button for me. Also, do me a favor, leave a comment down below. Even if you've got nothing to say, just leave a full stop. It really helps me out more than you know. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye-bye.